How's it going, everyone? This is Jimmy, and we have LJ today to bring you this week's fishing report. I know you've been out fishing a ton for the Rockfish.
Oh yeah. The bite's really good right now.
So he's got a couple things.
I mean, I did something that was different not completely different this year, but I was going to the 3/16 ounce G-Eye Jigs, and I was matching it up with the 5-inch Diezel paddle tails. And what I find with this is the presentation. So the 3/16, that when it falls, the paddle tail goes straight down and it goes really slow. It's a very slow presentation, and that was, I found out that was the key that just turned those fish on. We got a 35 this week, a 31, a 29, a pair of 25s. I mean, these fish, I can't tell you how many keepers and throwbacks that we got. It's just a great combination. So the 5-inch Diezel Minnowz is the profile they're looking for. The presentation is actually a slow fall, and that's what they're looking for. And keep in mind, I'm fishing between 14 and 4 feet of water, and that's where I'm finding fish. Look for shoreline riprap, boat docks, points, and hot pink has been my ticket when I put it on that hot chartreuse 5-inch. I mean, I catch on yellow colors, but it just seems like if you're putting that hot pink with this hot chartreuse, you're catching a couple of more fish with it. You know, also what we got coming up is the mayworm bite. I've been checking it all week. I'm marking more fish. It's gonna get better, but I got a hunch. Don't read the report, be the report, because it's gonna happen. I think within, if not this weekend, first of next week, I think it's gonna get on. And what you wanna do when you start fishing that water, so the water I'm fishing is between 35 and 45 feet, and it's open water. And I'm not looking for stacks of fish. I'm actually looking for some bait and some weird looking stuff that's not really bait, doesn't look like bait on my transducer or my down scan. That's telling me that's mayworms.
I was just about to say, maybe tell them to what it's kind of going to look like on the screen, maybe where those fish will be positioned.
You'll notice that they don't, in your down scan imaging, they don't look like fish. They're just different, like an oak tree or something. It's just, they're odd. And the giveaway is once you start seeing some of those worms get barfed up on the side of the boat, you're like, okay, and what you want to do, I'll let you know. Take and mark that, because next year, those worms come up, they're spawning. The ones that don't get eaten or die go right back down into the mud, and they come up next year. So mark those places. If you catch a rockfish that looks golden, don't worry about it. He's been chewing on those mayworms. That's why he's that color. He'll turn silver again later, but once he clears those mayworms out of his system. And when you're doing that, you're gonna wanna go 5/8, 3/4, and 1. You're not trying to keep it on the bottom. They're either gonna eat on the fall, or they're gonna eat when it's coming back up to the boat. And that's basically the presentation that you wanna do. And always have your baits scented. Have them scented. So we're not trying to imitate the mayworms with these baits. We're trying to imitate the fish. Because what they need to do is they need to eat a fish to keep all that protein from those mayworms in their belly. They'll lose it all, so they need the oil from the fish, and that's why they're going to eat these baits. I find that these colors here work real well this time of year with the hot chartreuse. Of course, the green, have a pink, and you cannot beat this Chirple from Bustin' Baits. That's a really good color this time of year. And you know, again, be sure to put some of this Loctite glue on your plastics, because they'll last, especially the Z-Mans, they'll last you all year. You won't even have to replace that bait again. Yeah, man. Are you finding any white perch?
Slowly,
kind of a bite?
Yeah, kind of starting to trickle in the rivers, come out of the creeks more.
Right.
Nothing super red hot yet, but people are trying to catch them, or starting to catch them in the shallows.
Yeah.
Right. Some people are also seeming to get them deep, kind of at the bridge, stuff like that.
Oh, okay, that's good.
A couple here and there.
Yeah, down my way, they haven't come out in full force yet, but they're starting to show up. These perch pounders are really good for them right now. And these gulp baits here, I like to throw artificial at them. I mean, you could go ahead and fish the bloodworms and things like that, and they work really well. But I just like throwing around. You know, I'll get out in 4 feet of water or so. And these small 3-inch Diezel Minnowz work well for perch too.
Yeah, you seem to typically catch a little bit bigger or slightly better fish too when you are fishing either 3-inch or 4-inch paddle tails. The artificials seem to kind of get those nicer quality.
Yeah, you'll get your trophies. Yeah, you'll get your 11 inchers or so. Yeah, you'll get your bigger fish. You know, something I forgot to mention about throwing to the shoreline structure and things for those striped bass is Anglers sells these underspins or the tail spinners. Put those underneath behind the hook.
Killer.
Oh my gosh. I really love these things. You can't go wrong with it. And you know, when I'm fishing these 5-inch Diezels right now, I'm either gonna cast it out and just let it fall. Most times those fish, as soon as I throw it out there and let it fall, usually that's when they're hitting it. Yeah. And what I'll find is I'll bring it in like a jerk bait. I didn't talk about the retrieve, like a jerk bait, and I just kind of twitch it along, and then, I also find that I would reel it kind of fast, and then I'd stop, and it'd fall, like boom, they'd nail it right there. So some of those tactics when you're fishing that shoreline structure. You were going to talk something about soft shell crabs, right?
Yeah. So for all you bait guys who like fishing with bait, we got a ton of soft shell crabs in. They're starting to come in more regularly. So we got a couple of things just to help you keep them on the hook, like the little rubber bands, the little bait twine. But yeah, we have plenty of soft crab. They're starting to come in more and more. We also have some that I would say you could eat. There's some good quality ones. Got some size to them.
That's the hard part about putting them on a hook, and then I want to take them home and eat them. Well, keep in mind also next weekend is like historically the black drum are going to start showing up. You know, down there on Stone Rock, this 7/0 Gamakatsu hook is what I use with my soft shells. I'll just put a swivel on my leader, put a sinker above the swivels. That's my weight, and just kind of cruise my boat along until I find a trash can on scan, and we just drop on them.
Yeah.
Or I mean, but I do know that guys for the black drum they will anchor up. And they'll fish anchored up that way. But it's a personal preference. It's kind of a combat fishing sport.
Yes.
You know, if you want to, I know Lenny's got a bunch of videos out there about tactics for targeting the black drum this time of year.
Definitely lots of good
Stone
information.
Rock, you know. And of course in his books and things too, you can read a lot more on that tactic and that fishery this time of year. So like I'm really excited. We got a lot of good fishing going on right now. It's only going to get better from here. You know, I didn't mention this earlier, but Anglers is going to get an order of these rain minnow rods. A lot of guys have been asking, when are we going to get them in? We got them in. This is the rod that I'm using right now. I'll end up fishing this rod the entire year because I'm throwing my paddle tails, I'm throwing my jerk baits, I'm throwing my top water with this rod, also my rain minnows. And because the bluefish are going to come in here pretty soon, the Spanish are going to follow them guys, and it's just an overall good rod to use with all those tactics.
Lots going on, lots of fish to catch. Definitely not slow right now. It's definitely the time to be out there.
Time to get out there and get on it.
Yeah. So stop by, come check it out, come talk to us if you need any help with anything, and we hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you.